Everyone talks about ocean sailing, blue water crossings, med charters, Caribbean island hopping. Almost nobody talks about rivers. And I think that's a real blind spot, because some of the most memorable boating I've done, out of thousands of miles, happened on inland waterways. A lockkeeper shouting something in German at 6 in the morning, a church tower sliding past behind the trees, kids waving from the bridge. Today I want to break it down, the real pros, the real cons, and my personal top 6 river trips that belong on your bucket list. But first, if you're into boats and honest takes on the yachting world, hit subscribe. I'm Nikita Gorchakov. I've been in the yachting since 2004. If you want the full story, watch my earlier videos on why you shouldn't buy a boat, or the one about how in future anyone on the planet will be able to afford one. The links will appear somewhere here. And today, rivers. There's a stereotype that a yacht means oceans and open seas. Sailing around the world, crossing the Atlantic, chilling at anchorages in Sardinia. Sure, that's one version, but sometimes the best stuff is right under your nose. There's an enormous network of inland waterways, rivers, canals, lakes, where you can travel for months without ever touching salt water. 6 reasons why that's worth your attention. Number 1, the scenery is incomparable. At sea, far from land, the view doesn't change. Open water, horizon, more open water, beautiful in a meditative way, but you're not actually seeing anything. On a river, the whole logic flips. The land comes to you. Old houses, vineyards, fishing huts, people having lunch at restaurants 2 meters above the waterline. Every bend changes the frame. People say coastline is the most beautiful scenery in the world. On a river, you're looking at a coastline the entire time. Both sides, left and right, up close and constantly shifting. The EU alone has 41,000 kilometers of navigable inland waterways, 2/3 the length of its entire sea and ocean coastline. Most people have no idea this network exists. Number 2, rivers are calmer and safer. No swell, no ocean mood swings, no 2-meter waves rolling in from 3 weather systems away. The hardest thing you'll deal with is current. And current is predictable. You know where it comes from, how fast it runs. Compare that to confused seas, sidewind, tide, and chop fighting each other at the same time. For families, it's a different world. Children sit outside without getting soaked. Guests don't turn green after 30 minutes. You cook lunch underway without everything sliding across the galley. Nobody gets seasick on river. Can you say river sick? I think there's no such thing. Number 3, you cruise through the front door of cities. Rivers run through the hearts of many historic cities. You enter Budapest by water, the Parliament building on your left, Buda Castle on the hill to your right. Vienna, Avignon, Cologne, Düsseldorf, Regensburg. The river was there before the airport, before the ring road, before the tourist bus. On a river, you glide through the city's parade route. Number 4, less wear on your boat. Fresh water is kinder than salt. Probably that's why it's also called sweet. Lower speed means less pounding, engines run steady, hulls don't get beaten up the way they do in open sea chop. Metal parts last longer without soil corrosion eating at everything. If you own a boat and pay the bills yourself, you feel that difference. River cruising costs less in maintenance, less in repairs, less in marina fees. But don't get too excited. Boats always tend to find a way to take your money. Number 5, it's cheaper overall. You have more natural anchorages. You can nose into a wild riverbank, tied to a tree, and stay paying 0. River marinas cost less than the Greek islands or the Italian Riviera during peak season. Fuel burn is lower at displacement speeds. A 2-week trip versus the equivalent in Italy or Turkey, you're spending significantly less. Same time on the water, different number on the invoice. Alright, number 6. it's less mainstream. The famous sailing hotspots, Dubrovnik, Portofino, Mykonos, are crowded. Anchorages are full and prices are set for peak demand. Rivers don't have that problem. Really quiet places, you're always near civilization, never remote in the scary sense, but you're one of a few boats not fighting for space. Now, the trade-offs. River yachting isn't perfect. Here's what you need to accept. 1. Bridge clearance limits your boat. Every river has the lowest bridge. That's your ceiling, literally. That bridge decides what boat you can take, regardless of what you prefer. Super yachts won't fit. Sailboats are basically out, and not just the mast. You can't actually sail on a river. Wind is blocked by trees, buildings, bends, hills. You tack once and hit a restaurant. This is strictly motor yachting territory, and air draft is the single most important number. Even among motor yachts, a flybridge might suddenly be the wrong boat. Number 2. Slow speeds. Most rivers and canals have speed limits. Your wake erodes the banks, disturbs houseboats, rock-smoothed vessels in unprotected marinas. Run too fast and you'll get fined, or cursed over the radio by every boat you pass. If your boat is designed to plane, this gets painful. A hull built for 25 knots wallows at 6. It yaws, it wanders, it doesn't keep the track. You're fighting the wheel every second, burning fuel in the worst part of the power curve. The sweet spot is a boat that fits under the bridges, is comfortable at 7-8 knots displacement mode, but able to push to 20 or 25 when you hit an open lake. Those boats exist, though not many of them. Number 3. The water isn't pretty. There's no azure river. Fresh water has its own palette. Brown from silt, dark gray, green in hot summers, not the beautiful sea cove green, dark, murky, blooming algae green, sometimes the color of bad soup. That doesn't always mean it's dangerous. Rivers carry silt, they carry life, but sometimes there are real ecological issues too. You may swim or you may decide not to. Both are okay. And the river has moods. After heavy rain, the water rises, sometimes fast, and it can swing both ways depending on how the nearest dam is being operated. Bridges you cleared yesterday now have a meter less headroom. The current doubles, and everything upstream washes down. Logs, branches, plastic, sometimes whole trees. Hit a submerged log at speed and you're looking at a bent prop, a cracked shaft, or worse. In drought, the opposite. Channels that were 2 meters deep are now half that. Sandbars appear where there were none. Your charts become half fiction. The sea has storms, but between them it's stable. A river changes day to day. Check water levels before every passage. Most waterway authorities publish them online in real time. 4. Infrastructure and self-sufficiency. In France, Poland, Sweden, parts of Germany, the infrastructure is mature. Marinas, fuel stations, repair yards, haul-out facilities. In other places, you're on your own. Need a haul-out for a 45-footer in rural Argentina or Bulgaria? Good luck. Need a specific filter? Maybe wait a week. The local mechanic might be excellent. He also might be mostly fixing tractors. Charter options are thin outside France or maybe Netherlands. On most rivers, you bring your own boat or you don't go. Approach river boating the way you'd approach a remote ocean passage in terms of preparation. Spare filters, belts, oil. Don't count on finding a chandlery around the next bend. Number 5. Locks. On some routes, locks become the rhythm of your entire day. Lines, fenders, holding position against a slippery wall. Someone on board throws a line like the feeding ducks, then yelling, then apologies, then another lock 30 minutes later. It's a lot like handling sails on a sailboat. constant, physical, hands-on work that both people on board need to be awake for. Once you get the rhythm, it's truly satisfying. Strangers help with ropes, you share route intel or an occasional drink with fellow boaters while waiting in the queue. Locks will either cure your relationship or break it, maybe both. Number 6. Dead end rivers. Some river systems are through routes. The Danube connects to the Rhine, Great Loop circles back on itself. But plenty of rivers just end. The water shallows out, there's no connecting canal, and you're heading back the way you came. And doing the same stretch twice in one trip gets boring fast. One way to handle it: cruise upstream with one group of friends, then fly home and leave the boat for a few weeks. After that, come back with a different crew and cruise downstream. 2 trips, fresh company, fresh eyes. Same river, but different road movie. Now, I was going to do a whole section here on the best boats for river cruising. Low air draft, smart semi-displacement hull, the right balance between comfort and bridge clearance. I have a list. But halfway through I realized that's a whole separate video. There's too much to say to squeeze it in here. So here's the deal. If this video hits 5,000 likes, I'll make it next. Top boats for river cruising. Specific models, why they work, what to look for. So hit that like button please if you haven't already. And while you're at it, drop your pick in the comments. What's the best river boat you've seen or owned? Me and everyone watching, we want to hear it. Here's my top 6 river routes. Only rivers I've actually seen, fully or partially. Share yours in the comments. Number 1, the Danube. The Danube flows through 10 countries and 4 national capitals: Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, Belgrade. More capitals than any other river in the world. Almost 3,000 kilometers from the Black Forest to the Black Sea. It starts wild. The lower Danube, Romania, Bulgaria, parts of Ukraine, is raw nature. Marshlands, pelican colonies, fishing villages where time moves differently. Then, gradually, civilization builds up. Serbia, Hungary, Austria. The cities get older, the architecture gets grander, the wine gets better. My favorite stretch, the upper Danube, Vienna and above, through the Wachau Valley to Linz, then further into the Rhine-Main-Danube Canal. That canal is 171 kilometers and it links the Danube to the Main, then the Rhine, the main German rivers. The Black Sea side of Europe connected to the North Sea side. You can cross the center of Europe by boat, on your own boat at your own pace, while cruise passengers eat buffet dinner behind glass. Vineyards, forested hills, monasteries, castles, small towns that look like they were printed on a postcard. Number 2. Great Loop, USA. This is one of the most popular long-distance boating routes in the world. Around 6,000 miles of rivers, canals, Great Lakes and protected coastal waterways circling eastern North America. Almost entirely in sheltered waters, no serious ocean crossing required. Europe has its own loop, Rhine to Danube through the continent's center, then the Volga-Don route across Russia and back to the Baltics via St. Petersburg. But no other route sits entirely within a single country and has the community the Great Loop has. Around 200 boats complete it every year, with a whole subculture of loopers sharing marinas, routes, and war stories along the way. It's still on my bucket list as a full loop. I've seen just small sections so far. The intracoastal part, from Florida up through Georgia, both Carolinas, then into Virginia and the Chesapeake, has a particular quality. It feels like a river, but the ocean is always just a few hundred feet away. The vibes of river with the sea within reach, on the kind of massive scale only America can deliver. Number 3. The French Canal System. France has over 8,000 kilometers of navigable inland waterways. Classic routes run through Burgundy, along the Canal du Midi, through the Loire Valley. You move slowly through villages, vineyards, old stone bridges. You tie up, walk to the boulangerie 200 meters from the dock, buy a baguette, then some freshly baked escargots, eat badly or brilliantly, depending on your luck, and continue. And actually, to charter a boat here, you don't need a license. Traditional French penichettes cruise at walking pace. Brief instruction at the base and you're off. France has one of the most developed canal charter industries in Europe. This is one of the rare river places where you can just show up and go. France is not about rushing from point A to B. If you're in a hurry, you already missed the point. Number 4. The Netherlands. The density of waterways here is unmatched anywhere. The entire country is built on water, and the Dutch maintain it all to an absurd standard. Everything trimmed, painted, polished, blooming tulip fields of every imaginable color. Even cows so neat and clean, like they're preparing for the photo shoot for the Vogue. The famous windmills, it feels like a scale model of a perfect world that you explore by boat. You could spend 2 seasons cruising Holland at a relaxed pace and still not see everything. From there, hop into Belgium by canal, all the way to a famous city of Bruges. A solid tender is a must here. You can leave the mothership at the marina, launch the little boat and go play. Amsterdam's inner canals and old town cuts, low bridges where your main boat has no business going. That's where the real exploring happens. Number 5. The Göta Canal, Sweden. Gothenburg on the west coast to Stockholm on the east, straight across the country. The Göta Canal has 58 locks. The full waterway stretches about 390 kilometers. Midway sits Lake Vänern, the biggest lake in the European Union. Sweden has deep boating culture. Marinas are excellent. Restaurants along the route are solid. People know boats here. Not show-off boats, but practical, seaworthy, or can I say lake-worthy family boats. A relaxed transit takes about 10 days. Number 6. The Paraná, Argentina. My wild card and my second home. I'm recording this from Buenos Aires. Starting from here, the Tigre Delta is where the Paraná system meets the Rio de la Plata. Around Tigre, the Delta Islands, a whole separate civilization. Communities living on the water, floating restaurants, schools, shops, police precincts, with not a single road. Boats-only area. Weekend houses reachable only by water. Isla El Descanso, a private island turned sculpture park and a restaurant, 30 minutes upriver from Tigre. You dock, walk through gardens and art installations, eat lunch on the water. It's a magical experience. From Tigre, you can head upstream along the Paraná through Argentine and Paraguayan countryside, roughly 750 nautical miles of navigable river. The infrastructure is thin, the charts are rough, but at the top end you hit the prize. The three-border zone, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, meeting at one point. And here, within 45 kilometers of each other, 2 world-class sites. Iguazu Falls, hundreds of waterfalls, one of the most powerful things you'll ever see. And the Itaipu Dam, the world's second largest hydroelectric plant, with a 1,000 square mile lake above it where local boats run tours and fishing trips. You moor the yacht at Puerto Iguazu, and both are just a short drive away. Or a 10-minute helicopter ride if you want to see all 275 waterfalls from above. 6 river systems, 6 completely different worlds. And I barely scratched the surface. There's the Amazon, the Mekong, the Volga, the Dnipro, the Yangtze, the Nile. A lifetime of river cruising is out there. River boating slows you down and makes boating denser. More shore more culture, more stops, more tiny moments all day long. Like a bakery smell drifting over the water at 7 in the morning, a bridge so low that everyone on board nudges and goes quiet first, and then shouts when passing under it for that funny echo effect. A town key where you arrive by accident and stay too nice because the restaurant is so good. Drop your favorite river routes in the comments. Tell me what I'm missing. Start a fight about which one is best. I'm here for it. And if this topic is close to your heart, next time, as promised, best boats for river cruising. Hit that like button so I know you want it. And subscribe if you're new here. More straight talk boating content is on the way. And see you on the water.